You will also need 3 more tablespoons of rum in a later step. For this step, you're gonna lightly dip your ladyfingers into this coffee and rum mix. You're gonna do that on both sides and then place each of them in your tray. After you are done mixing the egg yolks and the sugar together, you're gonna put it over some low heat simmering water and you're gonna whisk that together for 8 to 10 minutes. I believe I did about 8 minutes, and as you can see, it turned a lighter color and you couldn't feel that there was sugar in there anymore. So whisk until that is the case. According to the recipe I used for reference on this, it said to mix this for about 3 minutes, but it took me a little longer than 3 minutes to get it to where it needed to be. So if that's the case, like, don't feel alarmed. Just make sure that it's actually a whipped texture by the time you're finished. If it's too watery, it's not gonna work. So I'd say just mix until it gets thicker. And once it does, like how you can see at the moment, that is the perfect texture. I would say it took me about 6 minutes to get this, but I believe it all depends on the mixer you're using. For this part, you're going to add a generous layer of the batter to the first layer of your ladyfingers. You're going to add another layer of ladyfingers, doing the same thing you did in the first part, dipping those ladyfingers into the coffee and rum mix, lightly dipping each side, and then adding it right on top of that cream you just applied. Put as many as you can fit. And then you're going to put your remaining cream on top of that second layer of ladyfingers. You're then going to wrap the tiramisu with plastic wrap and put it in the refrigerator for at least 6 hours. I ended up putting it in the refrigerator overnight. You are now going to add a layer of cocoa powder. I'm going to advise you, do not use way too much cocoa powder because that is where I messed up in this recipe. By the way, I mentioned in the first part of the video, this is my first time making tiramisu. So yeah, I went a little crazy. I didn't really show you guys how crazy, I kind of cut some parts on how much cocoa powder I actually applied. And when you see me testing it out, you'll see what I'm talking about. You just see the cocoa powder just everywhere. Look at that plate. Despite the amount of cocoa powder I put, the rest of the tiramisu was actually really amazing. So immediately after I ate that piece of tiramisu I made, I scraped off a lot of the cocoa powder and I put it in the refrigerator for the rest of the day, and it actually came out so much better when I left it refrigerated with the cocoa powder. That's exactly how I feel like I should have left it, and this was the end result, and I was very pleased with it. Hope you enjoyed the video, and I will see you in my next one. Bye.